Yeah.
All right, we are live. Good morning, everyone. This is Tanya with Talks with Tanya, and of course, I am trying something new, but I knew I could do that. I knew I could do that, and we will close that. Just want to check to make sure that we are on Facebook Live. Yeah, I think that I think that I hear us. Let me make sure I'm not um, in two places. Well, actually,
Well, yeah.
this will be the first time, Michelle, that I am streaming to two locations.
Oh,
Yes, we have some viewers. Okay,
do we? Can we see them?
let's
Or
see.
can you only see them?
I can see them here. See, this is a learning experience. Um, but my friends in Hustle Slay launch
Oh,
know that Tanya is always testing. But I can see that, and I'm also Oh, I can see.
yeah, I switched over to live comments. It doesn't identify them, but it does says good morning, morning.
Good
So I'm like, good
morning.
morning,
Yes,
good
yes, yes.
morning.
Hey, welcome. Welcome to Talks with Tanya with my guest, Michelle McDonald.
Hey, everybody, how
Yes,
are you? Happy Saturday.
happy Saturday indeed. Yes. Yesterday, of course, we did a little practice run, and when we came on, we were like, oh my goodness, we look alike. I think
I
we're from the same tribe. We are from the same tribe. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining. So we're a little bit early, but better early than late. I'm
Yeah.
delighted to be here with my guest, Michelle McDonald. And for those of you who don't know who I am Tanya Bain, your host and executive producer of Talks with Tanya. And today, yes, it is.
Yes, we see you, Randy.
Yes, Randy, it is. So I really am enjoying this platform so far. And as the weeks progress, I'm going to be using some additional features. But we are here today on Talks with Tanya because I love to educate, to inform, and to really improve the whole life. Okay, the whole life success of our viewers. And today we are going to do that with my special guest, Michelle McDonald. And I'm so grateful to have her on here because when we were talking a little bit yesterday, I had to share with her that she was my first coach.
Oh,
And it's got to be 3 years ago. And had this vision and still have this vision about, and I've shared some of it, shared it with some of you about doing a women's conference, empowerment conference in Puerto Rico. And it was just something that, I had to get it down on paper. And Michelle was the one, I had seen her on Facebook. And I have to say, you were really one of the early adopters, all right, of using Facebook to educate. And you presented a show on getting sponsors. All right, getting sponsors for your different events. And I was like, well, I know I can't afford this. As a matter of fact, getting through the planning part of it, just seemed overwhelming. So I reached out to Michelle, and let me tell you, she walked me through a plan, provided me with a written plan that I have been able to use. And even though we haven't quite launched yet in Puerto Rico, I have used the information to produce one, two, three workshops.
Oh,
Okay,
wow. That
three
is
workshops
amazing.
that I have done, and it's kind of my go-to planning document because it included every single step that I needed in order to execute. And I've done it in different venues.
Mhm.
So it was just so helpful to me. And as I've watched her now, I'm telling 3 years ago, you were out there and you were doing this training. And I was like, people do training online?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
And here now, for such a time as this, right?
Yes.
For such a
Yes.
time as this, because it's really the only way
Mhm. Absolutely. It
that
is.
we can do that. So, just to share a little bit more about Michelle, she is a, dynamic speaker, an excellent writer, a trainer with a passion for engaging, educating, and empowering her clients. And I can attest to the fact that she's done that for me. And she gives us the information that we can use to really take our business to the next level. It's not wait and see if this is going to work. All right.
Mhm.
If you follow the plan, all right, follow the plan, you will be able to execute. All right. She even gives you like what do you call it? The speech to say, the letter to send, everything. All right, is what she included in the package that she provided me. Her
Mhm.
company is at Serica Enterprises.
Yes.
She provides speaker training, consulting, and videography services.
Mhm.
Her background is impressive. Michelle was the marketing director for a national nonprofit where she created sponsorship proposals and executed events for Fortune 500 companies. She was also the community engagement manager for a national health insurance company where she granted funding to nonprofits and community events. So she knows the business from the inside out.
Yeah.
She offers both individual and group training on how to obtain sponsors and develop unique experiences, especially for event partners on both sides of the shop. So
Mhm.
I would like to introduce you to my friend,
Mhm.
the lady who kind of got me launching things, Michelle McDonald. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How
Thank
are you
you so
doing
much, Tanya,
today?
girl.
Girl.
Thank you. I just appreciate you so much. And as a trainer, to hear that something that you gave to a client 3 years ago that they are consistently using, it just demonstrates that it was proven and it has impact and that it's evergreen. Whatever I give, I try not, this is a living, breathing document that whenever you need an event, you can utilize these tools that I give you, that you can take that and fish forever. Like I said, I like to train because you can go do something for someone, but they'll eat for a day. It's like you fish for somebody, they eat for a day, but if you show them, they will eat for a lifetime. And your testimony is just an example of the results of taking a training and being able to utilize that information over and over to not only just help you, but impact so many other people as well. Because don't sleep on Miss Tanya, y'all. Because she is a mover and a shaker, and just as she's watched me, I have been watching her over the years, and I'm just so grateful for this opportunity to really share what I know and to share information about my business and my services, because we are in unprecedented times.
Yes.
And we have to really begin to think on how to do things differently, because as much as states are opening up, things are never really going to be completely the same. So you have to, or if you haven't been thinking about it, already thinking about how you're going to position your business, your nonprofit, or just even if you don't have either, if there's a professional, how are you going to function in this new normal?
Yes, exactly. I just firmly believe that things will never be the same, nor should they be.
It wasn't like things was perfect. My pastor was saying, when you think about it, there were some things that need to be shaken up. And yes, it was very devastating. I know so many people who suffered loss, but there were a lot of things. The curtain was pulled out, things that we knew was happening, and it's being exposed. And then it made you really begin to think about, because people have been saying for years, the days of working at a job for 30, 40 years, those have already began to go. But now you look at the pandemic and just the socioeconomic impact that it has had nationally, internationally. You have to have more than one way to eat. That's why it's so important to do that. I have a day job, but I've been grateful in sales that I've been able to transition to work from home. But I've always had other fires going. But what this did was you need to really continue to keep focusing on your business, because the one thing is you can't fire yourself. I mean, I guess you could fire yourself, but why would you want to? But the thing of it is, you have more control. And so that's one of the things that I want people to really realize, is that there are options. And even in this time, you can still get funding. People are getting funded for nonprofits, for your business. There's so many grants that are out there that are available. You just got to do the research. But specifically, one of the things I would say, the industry that I'm in, how it's impacted people doing events, because that was what a lot of my training consulting was. Okay, I have this event, all these events have to cancel, but not necessarily. Look at your event and see how you can do it virtually. This past fall, I was involved with a virtual summit in a Facebook group, and I was talking about event sponsorships then on that virtual summit. So now that summit is something that a lot of people are looking at participating in, because that is an opportunity where you can still here's an online event. So think about your fundraiser that you were going to do in person. You just may have to tweak it. And that doesn't mean that you can't get funding, because even before the pandemic, people were giving out sponsorships for online events. And so that's one of the things I want people to be educated on. And you don't have to be a 501c3 to get sponsors. Now, you won't be able to get, the company won't be able to write it off. And I think having a 501c3 is awesome if you're a nonprofit. But if you are a business or a social enterprise, you can still get sponsors, because it's all about the cause. And if it aligns up with that company that wants to partner with you. And that's the thing. You have to be passionate about it. No one's going to love it like you, so no one can really sell it like you. So you have to really be passionate about what you believe in when you're approaching these companies, and then also have a plan on how you're going to conduct this particular event online, because it can be done.
It can be done. Yes. Good morning, Amber. Thank you. Her comment was, she's been saying that for the longest, that what's considered the 9 to 5 is pretty much gone. It is pretty much gone. There are different ways to, and just because it's gone, let me just say this, and this is what you helped me with, Michelle. Your skills are gone. Okay. The
Exactly.
skills that you have are transferable. The skills
Mhm.
that you have are transferable. And, I often talk about, hitting the reset button, you know, hitting that reset button and saying, okay, let me just sit back, take stock of what I know. What
Mhm.
have I been doing? How have I been how have I been executing on that? And then how do I make that pivot? All right, and use those skills for myself. Okay. From
Mhm.
from home or from wherever, the library, okay, when it opens, from your car. I mean, I've seen people who say they've got to go in their car to do a little work nowadays to get it done.
Yeah.
But that is
Mhm.
correct. That is correct.
Mhm.
Amber, thank you for your for your comments. Any comments or questions that you have, you want to make sure that you put them in the comments. Like I said, Michelle is a wealth of knowledge. I know she was on the Black Women Promote a Virtual Success Summit, and
Mhm.
that's another, oh my God, that's another awesome group of women who are so talented, and
Yes.
generous, because when I rise, I feel like everyone rises, as well. So this is marvelous. So we're accustomed to these events, face to face events. Can you share with us like where you might start in terms of making that pivot to taking your event online?
Well, I think one of the a very good example are churches, um, who may have always talked about streaming services online, but it came to the point of necessity is the mother of invention. We
Yes.
could not gather, and even in Michigan, even though they're kind of loosening things up, we still have strict restrictions. And I'm a deacon in my church, in my church ministry, and I'm also on our leadership team. We had our leadership council, and we are actually being charged with developing, when we go back, what it's going to look like, because it cannot look the same. So that was I kind of just went in there, but went to that area. But that's something that we should probably discuss, is when you go back to start doing events, what they're going to look like, because they're going to look different. But
Mm-hmm.
I think what a lot of churches have done is that they, taking advantage of the software there's out there, like doing Zoom, and like with my church, and this is something that could be transferable. We had it on Zoom, but were also live on Facebook as well, and then people could call in as well. So these are some options that you can look at for your event. Also in another wonderful group called Blacks and Nonprofits, and it is amazing. And a lot of people who have mentoring programs for kids, because now that school is winding down, some kids are already out. If they're still in a lockdown or they have a stay-at-home order, those parents who were depending on camps and other enrichment activities, everything is they're at home. So you have to provide services online. So one of the things that people would do is having a mentoring group. They would meet kids. There was I can't remember the name of the nonprofit, but the brother that founded is called William Malcolm, and he's also in Blacks and Nonprofits. He has a mentoring program where once a week they exercise, the young men exercise, and they do it all virtually.
Yes.
So if you have those types of programs, now if you're looking at an event that you were going to do, it's still very doable. It's just a matter of managing. Just because it's online doesn't mean that you're not going to need volunteers. You
Mm-hmm.
have to have volunteers moderating, because, like I said, even with church, you want someone monitoring the comments. Like, I'm speaking, but I can tell Tanya's reading the comments, and so it's very important that you want to have people. You still have the same approach if it's
Mm-hmm.
an online event. And part of the tip bundle that I have with volunteer recruitment and retention, you have to train your volunteers. So that means you need to do prep work. Even today, Tanya and I got on yesterday and we talked for well over almost 30 minutes. But prepping and testing, but you need to test it out. So those are the things you want to do. Don't just go blind, say, okay, we're going live. No, you need to do a prep work because it's technology and sometimes it has a mind of its own.
Yes.
Like with me, I was working on my tip bundle and I had technical difficulty. So I said, you know what? That's okay. But I'm glad that I realized that before I sent the link out and said, okay, here it is. Mm-hmm. It's all about preparation. And the thing of it is, if you're already ready, you don't have to get ready. So when the time that, you press that live button, everything is set. But here's the thing. Even when that happens, sometimes things still go wrong. Zoom decided to make an update this past weekend because I think with Facebook, and someone had mentioned Facebook live on YouTube is another option. I saw that. I believe because of Facebook Live, Zoom was doing a lot of updates and they figure, well, we'll do it on the weekend if there's any glitches on Saturday, not realizing all of the thousands and thousands of churches that use Zoom. So we had some difficulties on Sunday. We had to, people had to get out, refresh, and do that. But here's the thing. If you have a glitch that happens while you're live, no one is going to be like, oh my goodness. And if they do, it's okay. They'll get over it. I mean, it's the thing of it is some things you just gonna have to get over it. And that's like with going live, a lot of people feel uncomfortable going live, or it's like, well, doing an event is one thing, but doing it live is something else. Well, to me, it's like you're behind the screen. So that should be a little bit easier. But then again, I will talk to anybody at any time. So, being Tanya, like, I don't be strangers. I get that from my father, but I wasn't always like that. So I think the key is getting, understanding it's okay to be nervous. Sometimes I'm always a little bit nervous, but you can push through that and practice. We have so many opportunities to practice. And just like on Facebook, before you go live, you can kind of see yourself and you're like, oh, okay, I can do this. Before you press it again, okay, I'm live for real. So I think it's just really important to utilize that. And Amber, she has a good point. It says a technology coordinator from my church, and the church's Facebook page is used to stream the watch parties. And watch parties are also another good thing. There was a day I was just really exhausted and I didn't get an opportunity to go live. So I said, oh, wait a minute, I could just do a watch party. So if you've got, and that's the good thing about having content, especially if your content is evergreen. And that's something I do need to work on, because I'm big on happy Saturday, but I don't want people to pick it up and I'm doing a watch party and it's not Saturday. Just be mindful of that. But again, it's an ongoing process. But the meat of the content that I was sharing, it still was applicable. And then always letting people is good to be mindful of if they're watching it live, depending on your event. If your event is something that people will be able to access at a different time, finding out if they're watching it live or if they're putting replay. And replay is good too, because you know that even after your event is over, people are still getting impacted by the information.
Exactly.
And once you have that is just so much that you can do to have the event. And just understand that it doesn't have to necessarily be free. And that a lot of people may think, well, how do I do that? You still can do admission. Amber, when we did Black Women Promote, people pay a fee because people are going to invest in things that are important to them. And we can't, even as small business owners, or if you have a nonprofit, it's okay to charge, because here's the thing. The light bill, consumer energy, internet, they all need to be paid. Everybody got fees for different streaming services that have to get paid. So if you put that in that perspective, it's okay. Okay, well, this is how I'm going to generate income to fuel this passion that I have. That's not just going to impact me, but it's going to impact others.
That's a definite mindset shift that needs to be made. And it comes from, I'm going to say, kind of a legacy of not valuing ourselves. All right. And we talked a little bit about, pricing and asking, closed mouths don't get fed. Closed mouths don't get fed. if you just have to scroll through, all right, and find, look at what others are doing. All right, people are charging for content and information that is not as valuable as what you have. Okay, so valuing yourself and putting a price on the work that you're going to produce is important. So we really need to rethink that.
Yeah.
We need to rethink that as entrepreneurs. Every second that we spend, all right, on our business, we got to know how we making money here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, how are we making money here? When I was working for corporate America, pretty much it was not pretty much exactly. I needed to know how much it was going to cost, how much I made, and how much I needed to put out and how much we were getting in. And if I could not prove the value of that, I wasn't getting the budget. I wasn't getting the budget. So we need to really put that on and own that. It takes time to write. It takes time to develop that. And we need to, move from that hookup mentality.
Yes.
People looking for a hookup. And the people will pay. If it's for them, it's for them. And somebody saying no is okay. It's just not for them.
Right. They're not your client. And it's okay, because even if you did, not all money is good money, because you're going to be feeling some kind of way because you went lower than you needed to do it to for your particular product or your service. And that's something I had to remind myself, because that's why I am revamping. It's okay to do an introductory offer, but even at the introductory offer, you've got to look at, if people get this information, like I do event sponsorship training, consulting, and then I also have tips. Even with the tips, and I had it at a really low cost, I had to really sit down and look at it. People could take these tips and they could get sponsorships worth in the tens of thousands of dollars. Am I pricing this appropriately? And for those who can't afford the new price, then that's okay. They're just not my client. And you got to be really clear on who's buying your product and who will buy your product. One thing you were talking about, Tanya, about things that you do to generate the budget, and you have to justify. It reminded me of another wonderful woman. She was like a 7-figure earner in MLM. Her name is Tiffany Beverly Mallet. She has like common sense tips every day. And so I try to catch her. And she was talking about IPAs, income producing activities.
Yes.
What you do, you got to look at. And she said it's good to training, because that's my bread and butter. But see, and I always say this. Yes, you're taking my training, but at the end of my training, you'll be able to get income with that knowledge. So depending on what it is. So even with nonprofits, you've got to think about, is this an income producing activity? Yeah. And it's at the end of the day, you're going to have to maybe pay staff. You're going to have to maybe even pay yourself. You're going to have to pay for different activities. You may have to pay for food that you're giving out to people. So you've got to think in terms of, what am I doing? Am I developing sponsorship proposal? Am I developing an event that's going to give value to my partner? And that's another thing. When you're producing your event, and this is in one of my tips that I talk about, you've got to take pride in your event. Even if it's the first time you've done that event. It may be the first event, but it may not be the first event you've worked on. Remember all the wealth of years of experience when you're coming to the table, because you have to really own it and know that this is a great event, not only to benefit your organization, but this is going to assist a potential sponsor of getting visibility. So when you go to the table, you'll be able to say, okay, this is my event. This is what I want to do, but this is what I've worked on previously. Now you do have a leg up if you've done that event previously. And that's why document is so important. You want to make sure you have pictures. You want to make sure you have testimonials. You want people to talk about why this program is so important. Mm-hmm. And not only that, if you've got sponsors from the previous year, vendors from the previous year, let them go on record on how this was a great event for their business, whether it's visibility or they got a large amount of sales by participating in your event. Those are the things that you want to bring to the table, because yes, we're asking for money, but you're not going to be like Oliver Twist. Please, Melissa, can I have some more porridge? No, you got to bring it. This is my nonprofit. This is my business. You're targeting single Black women. I'm targeting single Black women. Hey, you know what? This would be a good fit. And that first meeting, when you're meeting with that sponsor, that's why the Lord, as much as I talk, He gave us 2 of these and 1 of these. So that first meeting, you are listening. You are trying to find out what they want. So then that way, when you turn around for that follow-up meeting, you give them a proposal that will address their needs. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to give you just an example. When I was with a large insurance company, when we gave out sponsorships, we would sit down and say, okay, we're targeting seniors. We will get flooded with requests, well, can you fund this youth program? We love the kids, but this year's we're targeting seniors. If you give me a proposal that does not address my needs, what do you think I'm going to do? So you always got to address the needs, because here's the thing. If you don't fulfill that need, they're going to think, A, they weren't listening to me, and B, why would I want to do business with them if they're not going to listen to me? So it's really important to find the need, meet the need, and be the solution. See, that's one of the tips I just gave y'all for free.
All right. Let me tell you something, okay? I told y'all, sometimes you don't know when you've met someone what the value, this is the value of networking as well. Remember those contacts. You need to nurture those contacts. Everywhere I saw Michelle, I'm like, hey, girl. And you really want to continue to do that. We have some great comments. Hey, Michelle Webb, welcome. She said, I needed this today. Yes. And Joyce said, you are so right, Michelle. Just because you are not for profit doesn't mean you don't have to make a profit.
That's fire.
Okay, let's shift. I'm telling you, people, shift the mindset. And it's okay if you didn't get it the first time or the 20th time. Okay. That's why you need to invest, okay, in purchasing some tips and keeping them and utilizing them over and over and over again. You need those planning tools, okay? You need those planning tools. Hey, Focus of Love, Focus James. Oh my God, I'm just so blessed to know so many amazing women. She says, yes, listening is key. Mm-hmm. Listening is key. And I know when I'm sharing things with people that I can tell, typically immediately, if they're not listening to me. Mm-hmm. All right. And then you see it when someone isn't executing on that, and they keep coming back. So, but that's the beauty of reset. You can always reset. Amber said, and that'll be the only free tip. Okay.
Girl, I'm like, because sometimes I make myself notes like, okay, that's it. Let's move on. We could talk about the book at some time. So
yes, exactly. We all have valuable gifts. And, it is a matter of really understanding how do we best utilize them. And we got to spend some money, people.
Yeah.
Okay. If you don't invest in yourself, what is it that you're really going to receive?
You've got to put, even I see this so much with nonprofits, and they'll come and they say, well, I've been funding this myself. So they already are vested. So what I have to get with them is to shift. You don't have to do it all alone, but you're demonstrating that you care because you are. But on the flip side, they'll invest in, okay, I'm going to spend all this money for my particular event, but you
Mhm.
won't invest in this course that's going to teach you that you don't have to spend all of your money for this event. I can teach you how to go out and get sponsors. I can teach you how to monetize what you already know. Because one thing that I've seen in other groups is that going through the process of getting a nonprofit. I don't have a nonprofit, but most of my clients are. I do have a lot of businesses as well. But the fact that they've gone through that process, they've learned something. You, as a nonprofit, have you thought about maybe doing a small business on the side where you're consulting, because you're also a person that has a nonprofit, so you could do consulting because you just went through the process yourself. So I mean, people are doing T-shirts. There are just different ways that you can help fund. Now, be mindful of the laws. So that's why it's more so for people who have nonprofits, who also have small businesses. But it's really important to make sure that you are generating income, either through your events, or you may be having t-shirts or any kind of sales that you can fund your event or help fund your mission. But that's why I think partnerships are also really important.
Yeah.
You want to do collaborations with people. If I service kids and you service women, and you got a lot of women that have kids, and I got kids I'm servicing kids that have moms. Why don't we sit down and talk about what we can do to kind of collaborate and go out and get some of this big money? So and a lot of people, when they want to give, they want to make sure that they're giving the amount of impact, because that was another big thing.
Mhm.
If I know that your target audience is large and it consists of the people that I want to reach with my business or my product, then more than likely I'm going to lean towards you, because the people I want to get in front of, they're going to be at the event.
Exactly. Exactly. And so there's so many things that you said that we don't know. We need to listen and we need to
Yes,
leverage
listen
that,
and leverage.
you
Listen
know,
and leverage.
leverage that into something. And I just keep saying this, just because you didn't get it the first time doesn't mean you can't reset and do it again. Okay.
Mhm,
You
mhm.
take the learning, leverage it. If you have to go back and get some help.
Yes, I'm here for you. So
Get some help. And there's so many of the ladies that are watching, the skill is interchangeable. Okay. The skill is interchangeable. In corporate America, and this is something that I've been able to leverage. I knew how to make, I didn't know how to do everything, but I knew who knew.
Mhm.
Okay. And I also built relationships so that I could connect.
Yes.
So, really, if you need to know who knows, I'm the one to come to, because I know who knows.
Mhm.
So, tell us a little bit more about what it is that you know, and, how it is that you can help us.
Oh, absolutely. With my experience of over 20 years of working with nonprofits, marketing, community outreach, I can teach you how to go after those sponsorships for your small business, for your nonprofit, for that event. And I also provide consulting, because now I'm finding a lot of people are trying to do the pivot. Even if you are in a state that it's opening, you're not going to be able to have a large scale event. Like Michigan, we have probably one of the more stricter lockdowns, the stay-at-home order. Our stay-at-home order had been extended again to June 11th. However, we are now permitted to have groups of 10 or less. So, and there are some retail companies that are still opening. up. So what I can do is once you're open and say you wanted to have a lunch, you might have to have a drive. And I hate saying drive by because of the connotation, but it's becoming a new word now. People are doing drive by graduations where they're literally driving by, drive by birthdays. You may need to do a drive by lunch where you may have 10 people in, other people are driving by, maintaining social distancing, even the people inside social distancing. And because right now I'm actually on a team that's developing how we're going to open as a church, I have knowledge now on how you can what can you do that within your particular parameters at the same time by making impact, because I'm a hugger, can't do that anymore. I mean, we can do this, what kind of forever, and waves, but being able to really sit down and how can I do this? Because here's the thing, people do want to come and they want to patronize your business, but they want to make sure they can do it safely. One of the things is like a cute thing is give out masks with your logo on it. Those are some of the things that you can do. And what I'm doing now, because I had to pivot in how I do my training, even my event sponsorship tips, I have to include within the tips is how do you do event sponsorship? What other types of things? How are you going to keep everybody safe? What services are you going to maybe need if you're going to have a live event? And also, if you're going to do a Zoom event, because here's the thing, at this point, you should probably do both. If you're opening, you should have it Zoom, because there may be some people, their comfort level, and because they may be high risk, they may be in the age group, they may have other health complications, but they still want to come to your event, but they don't want to put themselves at risk. Make sure you have a streaming option for those individuals. And that's what I will come into play. I will be able to sit down with you and let's talk about your event. Maybe we don't have to cancel it. Maybe we just need to change it. So that's one of the new services I provide is with the consulting, with the training, event sponsorship one-on-one I have. Show me the money. I love that. I came up, well, you know where it came from. It came from the movie, but it was Show Me the Money, event sponsorship 101. And in that course, it is a one-on-one. We do it by phone, and I walk you through how to go after sponsorships, how to develop deliverables and return on investment for potential sponsors. Now, what's coming on the horizon, I'm doing a video. It's going to be a 45-minute video. You won't have me live, but you'll have that video, and it's going to cover the same information that once you have that. And that's all going to be launching within the next 2 weeks, because again, like you all who are business owners, you have to pivot. But the thing about me, I've always kind of done things online, like Tanya said, because I was working day jobs. So I needed to do something where I would be able to still provide those services to the individual. If you need assistance with public speaking, because I know, and I joke about it, but I used to be really shy. I was so shy I wouldn't go outside and play. My mother's like, go outside and play. You wouldn't guess it now because this is who I truly am. So I kind of walked into the purpose that God has made me. And so I understand, though, what it's like to be nervous. And I also offer public speaking, how to go live and how to laugh at yourself. I went live, was it this week or last week? My friend was saw me and my phone failed. And so he sent me this meme of Prince going like this. And it was so funny because I didn't go running off into my room. Oh my goodness. It happens. And I'm a professional. I do this, I speak for a living. And so I teach you on how to get over those bumps. And then finally, I'm really getting more into doing a lot of motivational speaking as well. I'm in the process of writing a book. And if Miss Tanya allow me, I would like to read a little snippet. You let me know when. You said go ahead. Okay, let me get my paper. So I'm gonna
yes. So let me just tell you about this. Okay.
Okay, so go ahead.
This is the power. Okay, energy. So Friday, what day is this? Thursday night, I knew that she and I were going to get together, and it was just like, okay, there's some things I need to talk to her about, right? At about like it's usually, I'm gonna tell you exactly what time. It's usually about 2:41 in the morning. Okay, when I wake up all the time. And I woke up and I'm thinking, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I was like, why am I thinking about Michelle at 2:41 in the morning? But thinking is like, does she have a book? She should have a book, And I was like, God, I didn't ask her about her book. So I'm like, when we did our little, meeting yesterday, I said, you have a book? And she was like, well, I'm like, girl, you need to get a book so I can sleep at night. Okay. Yes. So tell us now, this is the perfect opportunity. Share a little bit with us.
Well, my book, I went through a divorce in the end of 2017. And I started writing this because it's, the beginning of the end, I would say, was in 2015. And so I started writing, and it was like I was starting, I was stopping, I was starting, I was stopping. And then when Miss Tanya was like, okay, I said, okay, Lord, I hear you. This time I'm actually going to finish. I do have a lot of irons, but one thing that I just want to say before I read a little bit, an excerpt of the book, you have to be very, very careful not to sleep on the gifts that God put on the side of you, because someone's very life may be dependent on what you have to bring to the world. And you can't be afraid. Just go forth and do. And as I say it to you, I say it to myself. Yeah. Do not be afraid to share your story. Do not be afraid to share your testimony, because people need that kind of encouragement. Because when I was going through, I was looking for books. I'm like, I have the Word of God, and that was incredible. But I'd like to have, just additional support books. And so what was revealed, that's because you haven't written it yet. So that's why. And when you said that, I said, okay, I'm pulling out a little excerpt of it, and it will be done this summer. And I'm gonna make sure my accountable Tanya, you will, everybody hold me accountable. Michelle, what's up with the book? What's up with the book? What's up with the book? So here's just a little bit of the opening lines of it. So here I go, you all. This is the first time I've ever read it, so it's exclusive.
I'm so happy it's here.
Okay. I feel like I'm dying. The gut-wrenching pain was palpable. It was beyond any physical pain I had ever experienced, including childbirth. My soul was crying out. It was beyond the humiliation and devastation of the lies and betrayal. It was the pain of covenant being broken. I laid on my circular rug in the fetal position and repeated again. I feel like I'm dying. The tears fell. I let out a sound that seemed to match the cries emanating from the depths of my very being. I feel like I'm dying, I repeated. Then I heard a gentle, firm response, but you're not. It was the voice of the one who promised never to leave me or forsake me. Then I remember who I belonged to. I got up and wiped my tears.
Amen. Yes, yes. Now I know why I was woken up what it was. Beautiful, 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 beautiful.
That's the first time I ever read it, so I'm all like, oh my goodness, it's so. But I'm re-energized, because again, even those of us who train and coach and are a consultant, we still have to sit down and, okay, you get poured into. And I've had trainers, and I think you always want to be about the business of investing in yourself. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Whether reading books, whether investing in someone that know more than you about what it is that you're trying to find out, and don't be afraid to invest in yourself, because there's this thought, well, people, they shouldn't pay, they shouldn't charge. But here's the thing, you don't know the blood, sweat, and tears they went through to get to that knowledge. So yes, you should want to. You should want to invest in them, because they're investing in you. They're entrusting you with this knowledge. But yes, there is a cost for that. And it's okay to do it. And if you're not ready, it's all right. But I don't like it when people disparage other people for making a living off of their experiences that they've gone through that brought them to this point, and they're trying to help others, but at the same time, I'm helping grow my business. And it is okay, because this isn't new. People have been training for years. I mean, people have been teaching for years. Other communities have been doing it for years. And so now I think we need to rip the Band-Aid off and say, look, get over it. If you want to know something, you invest in that business and stop asking for the hookup. Now, here's what I have found. A lot of businesses, if you follow a business, they will have sales and things. So, and they may have an early bird special, and they may have this. So there are opportunities, because even when we were in Black Women Promote, there were different deadlines in which you pay for different things. Most conferences, in fact, I highly recommend you don't go under, so it's going to impact your bottom line, but create your fee structure such that you can do some type of early bird discount, but still be within your budgetary goals, because what that will do is generate assignment. But once that deadline is over, it's over. If you missed it, then you got to pay more to get that same information. But it's really good because it helps you build your seed money for that. But it's all, I mean, if you can't afford, because there were some times there were things that I wanted to do, I couldn't afford it. I said, you know what? I can't afford it now. I value the information. What can I give up? I mean,
Yes.
what can I give up? I'm not a coffee drinker, but I like, going to get like picking up stuff, food. I'm cooking now more than ever, which is so funny. But give up something that you like, you know what? Maybe I don't need Hulu this month. And maybe I can do a couple of months, and that money can go towards this training once I'm ready to bring on this person that I know that's going to bring value to my life, to my business, to my nonprofit.
It's back to the basic here, the mind shift.
Yes.
And we're talking specifically about businesses, but this just came to me. Life is a business. Okay. Yeah. Life is a business. How you interact and negotiate in your family is a business. All right. And I think a lot of people have learned that over the past couple of months, because now we're spending time with that. That same, we have to invest, all right, in order to grow. I have had, experts on here about finances. Saving is important. You have to change some of the behaviors in order to get what it is that you need, get what it is that you want. We have to teach ourselves, we have to teach our children, about how to really shift their mindset so they're better prepared to operate in the world. There is, I call it people do people things, okay? And their expectations are not reasonable. And it's okay to say that. There's a nice way to say it. I can say stuff the nicest way, all right? But be very firm about it. That's about loving yourself first. That's the bottom line, okay? Admitting that you've made mistakes and forgiving yourself. And then moving forward. Move forward. Listen, okay, to wise counsel. Listen to wise counsel. Exactly. Some things, you can listen to them. Sometimes they just need to pass from one side to the other.
Yeah, you have to discern what, pick the good out, but throw the bad out. It's like, you don't have to throw everything they said, but if it works, it works. But if it doesn't, they keep it moving.
That's absolutely it. And by doing that, you learn to do that more effectively by investing in yourself. Little did I know that process that you shared with me is something that I could use over and over and over again, even for planning a party at home, even for planning drive-bys. As a matter of fact, later this afternoon, okay, I'm going to, and then let me just give a shout out to Mom Raison, okay, who is 100 years old.
Wow! Woo! Yes.
100 Yes, let's send her some love,
Bless
energy.
her.
Okay, 100 years old today. So we're going to celebrate her this afternoon, by doing the drive-by. Okay. And, we can shift the mindset around that. All right. It's a necessity. I shared this vision with you. You were talking about, you're planning a drive-by, but there are other things that you can plan. All right. You can plan to have some water there for them, the masks for there for them, the food already wrapped up for them for sale. A host of things. Let's shift how it is that we think about those things. Yes. So, Michelle, tell us how it is that we can get in touch with you.
Oh, absolutely. There are several ways. The big way is my website, SericaEnterprises.com, and it's
Okay.
SAERICA Enterprises.com. It's
All
my
right.
company, all one word. And it's the origin of my name is my daughter's name, Sarah and Jessica, is a combination. And the emphasis is on the E because of the engage, educate, empower. So
Okay.
that's why I have all that emphasis. I can also be reached on Instagram. My IG is also Serica Enterprises. I'm on Facebook as well at Serica Enterprises. And I have a nonprofit group called Where Nonprofits Gather, and it is for people who are nonprofits. And you can also check me out there at Where Nonprofits Gather as well. My email is just Michelle at SericaEnterprises.com. So you can reach me several ways. And if you still don't remember, you can always message Tanya because she is the master connector. So she'll be able to find
Oh, I'm going to
me.
use that.
But
Wait a minute.
yes, that is the way to contact me. I invite you to the website. I invite you to come to my page because once my bundles, and I am doing a tip bundle that's going to, I'm going to do a series of them, but the first group is going to include tips on how to start a nonprofit, tips on how to volunteer, how to recruit a winning team for your events, and then finally tips on your event sponsorships with a special emphasis on how to go after sponsorships in this new normal. I'll also have some subsequent bundles as well, but those are the ones that's going to be launching next week. So come to my website, come to either my Facebook pages or my Instagram, and you will have all the information. So I invite you all to follow. And even if you don't have a nonprofit, you aspire to, or you have a social enterprise, or even if you have a small business that you're doing events, you're still more than welcome to join Where Nonprofits Gather. I'm all about sharing the information and sharing opportunities where you can get to know me, and then you will be able to see the type of services that I can assist you with to take your business to the next level.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm just using this technology thing here, and it's just like, okay, I'm going to tell you something that is really going, and I think it was Amber who mentioned it. Oh, Chris Jones, my son, Lord have mercy. Hey, young man. I have to give him a shout out. Okay. So it was my birthday last week, and he was like, "Hey, Ma, what do you want for your birthday?" And look what it was. He got
Oh, that's
me like
perfect.
an official, all right, a real mic. So
Yes.
I sound so good. Oh yeah. Yes, because soon to come is Talks to Tanya on podcast as well. Yes, yes, yes. All of this takes some time, ladies. It takes time, and it's okay. It is okay. So remember, reach out to, here we go, SericaEnterprises.com and Serica Enterprises on Facebook and Instagram, or just reach out to me. Okay. Tanya Talks with Tanya. Tanya Inspires. I'm also streaming there for the first time as well. I'm on to Tanya Inspires because, I'm now in Hustle, Slay, Launch and here with my official, microphone. So I feel good. I'm grateful. I am grateful to be able to share this information, with everyone. If anyone is interested in talking to me about coming on Talks with Tanya, you just need to go to my page, Tanya Inspires, okay? Or you can go to bit.ly/Tanya Inspires and schedule yourself for a discovery call. I'm just so excited.
I like that. Yeah.
We can talk about it. We can talk about coming on, Talks with Tanya and what you want to share, or any kind of information, any way that I can, be of assistance to connect you with what you need. Because, I believe that, we need each other. We need to believe in ourselves first, okay? We need to follow our dreams, put the work in, okay, connect with the right people, and just keep going at it, just keep going at it. I'm so excited. Who would have thunk it, okay, that here we would be.
I know. This is amazing.
Sharing with the world. I'm going to, don't go away. I want to share some information about some upcoming activities here. I just need to figure out how to do this. Michelle, wait. That was rude. Wait.
Well, you said don't go. I said, well, I'm just
okay. We'll be back. I do want to share this information. Okay. Soon it'll be in video, so I can just play this video. But in the meantime, we're learning. All right. So we have some upcoming events, and I wanted. Can you guys hear me? I don't think you can hear me when I do that, but I wanted to give a shout out to my friend Bangai. She is having an event on the 27th of May at 7 p.m. All right. It's Women of the World, the virtual Zoom event. I love this. Okay. Investing in tomorrow's leaders. All right, so you want to make sure, and that's also on my page as well. I did want to give a shout out. Let's see where I put it here. Right. Shout out to Coach M, my coach. She has a great Passion to Profit bundle where she's put together some great business essentials. It includes training videos. It includes cheat sheets, 5 ebooks, all right? And she has an introductory price, so you'll want to, it's right here in Hustle. It's right here in Hustle Slay Launch, all right? The Passion to Profit Business Essentials bundle. Let's see what else we have going on. I need to give a shout out to my brother, Richard Blackwell, all right? He has his old school house party every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you have to do is go to either Blackwell 360 Entertainment or via Facebook. Okay, Richard F. Blackwell. Let me tell you something. I be grooving on Saturday night. All right, with my brother Richard. Another something else that I want to highlight. And those of you who are not in the state of Delaware, you'll want to make sure that you follow up on this. There is an ability where you can cast your absentee ballot. All right, in the state of Delaware, the deadline is May the 29th. You can just go on to Google and type in absentee ballot. All right, so if you are not comfortable going to the polls, you want to make sure that you get your absentee ballot, and you have until May 29th to request that absentee ballot. So that is so important. All right, I can't highlight that enough. Many lives were lost and sacrifices made, for us to have the right to vote. So let's make sure that we are doing this. I know that in the state of Maryland as well, it's available, but just go online and do that and share that information. That's important. Citizenship is important. We need to make sure we are sharing that information. Just to highlight, tomorrow's guest is my girl, Miss B. Baylor. Okay. And she and I, we just have such a great energy together. She's an amazing, businesswoman. She has her Women's Business Sense Network TV. We're going to be talking about, rising up and who knows what when the two of us get together as well. And I need to make sure that my sponsor, Protect the Jewel, that we're highlighting how important it is to take care of our feminine hygiene with our Jewel premium sanitary napkins. Don't sleep on it, ladies. I'm gonna keep coming to you until you've decided to make that switch for yourself and for also the women that and girls that you love and care about. For more information, you can go to Protect the Jewel. And I am a guest. Yeah. Wow. I'm twice this week. I've been on the other side of the interview table. I will be on tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm going to be on with my sister Jacqueline. Okay. And the Realizing Your Potential, a Queen's Roundtable show, 3:00 tomorrow, and Facebook, Realizing Your Potential 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to bring Michelle back up here. I'm going to. Ooh, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, it was really good. That transition was smooth. I was seeing that I was backstage, so I was trying to write down some of the upcoming events, and I said, "Oh, she's bringing me back."
Yeah, and all of these are posted on Tanya Inspires. Okay, so I'll keep them posted on Tanya Inspires, so you can get that information there as well. So Michelle, thank you so very much again. To my Talks with Tanya viewers, thank you so much. Rebecca, hey, welcome. Thank you for joining. Amber, great comments. I appreciate you. Even my son, Chris Jones. Faith, thanks for joining us. Thank you. Thank you. Tanya Williamson, you and I have to get together. You're going to be on here soon. Great news about your not needing surgery. Another miracle happening. Michelle Webb, thanks for joining us. You and I are going to get together tomorrow. My coach, Focus James, with the focus of love. All right, shout out. Oh my goodness, to Stacy Dupre. Oh my God, that is my praying partner, my business partner. Can't leave home without my Legacy Star Builders. I appreciate your support. I love this because now I can go to my business bestie, Randy, Walk in Favor, Sherrod. Thanks for joining. Tina, oh my God, another great author. There's so many wonderful women. And let me tell you something. These are lifetime connections. I know it's more than 3 years since Michelle and I connected. And I'm so glad to be able to share her with you. Don't forget to reach out to her. If you're listening to this on the replay, make sure you hashtag replay and share. And thank you, everyone. Thank you, Michelle, for joining us.
Thank you so much. It's been my pleasure.
Girl. The next round, we about to really rise on this thing. I'm so
I want to come on your podcast, girl. Let me know.
Come on.
Yes.
We're gonna be talking.
Yeah, talking, because we won't be seen. So.
I love it. Ladies, gentlemen, thanks so very much for joining. Y'all be blessed and stay inspired.
All right. Take care. Love you. Thank you all. Bye.